Thank you for joining me for the Spirit-Led Business Podcast. Today's podcast is entitled Opportunity is Knocking. If you have been praying or desiring for an opportunity to do more, to make more, or become more, I have good news for you. My name is Jason Manning. I have a podcast and it's called the Spirit-Led Business Podcast. I just need the opportunity to prove it. I know the feeling. I know what it's like to live for God and suffer lack. And now I know what it's like to live for God and prosper. And I can tell you prosperity is better. I didn't grow up in a Christian home. Got out of high school, got my own place, really got into drugs pretty heavy. And so just really heading down the wrong path. I didn't know anything in my life. Like I wasn't certain about anything. And I had an uncle of mine who introduced me to drugs actually. He had an encounter with God, got radically saved, and he would want to tell us about Jesus. I just said, God, I'm pretty sure you're real. And I'm pretty sure that I want to have a relationship with you. I want to know you. The next morning when I wake up, for the first time in my life, I knew something. I knew that Jesus was alive. I knew that God was real. And then moving on into marriage, when me and my wife, we got married, and then we immediately went into ministry. We were making great decisions in other areas of our life, but in the area of finances, we were really blind to some things. And our car at the time was a Geo Metro. I don't even think they make those anymore. Those cars were almost free, and they repoed my Geo. Not only did we have our car repossessed, but we had our house foreclosed on. We were just burying ourselves with bad decisions. It felt like there was a wall up between us and prosperity. So I made up this mental idea that, okay, if we're sold out for God, we can't prosper financially. And it turns out that's a complete lie. But we started getting word of faith teaching, and we just started following those truths, like applying them to our lives, you would say. Now we're getting the word of God in these areas that we were struggling in. Now that wall's beginning to crumble. So the missing piece for us between when we were struggling financially and prospering financially was that we were strong. We were taught in the area of generosity. We had good, strong teaching there. But after that, we weren't so strong in financial stewardship, in wisdom. I realized there's so many who are in the exact place that we were. So the podcast is actually filling that gap that we had between the giving and the wisdom and stewardship. Those believers that are struggling financially, they're far closer to prospering than they think. All most believers need is a little boost to get them from lack, from not enough or just enough to more than enough. The purpose behind the Spirit-Led Business Podcast is to encourage believers, to educate them, to empower them, to equip them to prosper using biblical principles that bring financial abundance. You can expect your faith to be increased in the area of finances. You can expect yourself to have a lot of aha moments. And the other thing you can expect to be encouraged on each and every podcast. Our motivation for accumulation is distribution. And once you understand your money has a purpose, and then I think it will open you up to grow in that area of financial prosperity.